nice if I turn the speaker on. Can you hear me? No? Yes? Okay, good. It's on, it's on. It's not loud enough? Yay, Jake. Good.
Hello? That one's loud.
Good. Okay. Doing good. Okay. Good morning. We join with other Unitarian Universalist churches in the tradition of striking the gong 3 times. Once in memory of those who have lived, built, and nurtured this congregation before us. Once in honor of those calling us home here today. And once for those of the future. These are difficult times. The hungry are getting hungrier. The homeless are becoming even more homeless. Good morning on this Sunday, July 6, 2025. My name is Lawrence High, and I'm your service leader for today. We welcome you to this wonderful Sunday service of the Umpqua Unitarian Universalist Church of Roseburg. In our congregation, you can be yourself, but not by yourself. Whomever you are, whoever you love, however you describe yourself or name the holy, you are welcomed. We especially welcome those who are visiting for the first time, those recently new to us and returning again. We're so glad you are here with us today. Please stay after service for coffee and tea and conversation so we can all get to know each other a little bit better. Much appreciation goes to our staff, our media director, Jake Tranter, and our church administrator, Genevieve Gonzalez, and to those who volunteer so much of their time. And I really want to point out those of you who have volunteered since we had the flooding and all the volunteer work that was done to try to restore this facility. Are there any other announcements? I think someone.
After the service today, anyone who is able and willing to help us move some things down in the basement so that the hot water heater and the whole system that they're going to put into place so that we don't ever have hot water flooding from the hot water heater again can be put in. There's not a whole lot to do, but more hands will make the work quicker. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Cherie Swenson, and I would just like to announce that I'm going to be taking over the landscaping committee. If you did not receive that email, there's some information on, some paths we can go down. I've connected with the master gardeners, and we're going to be having a meeting and kind of moving forward with what y'all would like to see the grounds evolve into. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, seeds you want to give me, please connect.
Several of you have asked me, is there someone that I might be able to sit with for a moment and have a quiet prayer? Reverend Donna is a little busy these days, and there are others in the congregation who would be glad to sit down and give you a prayer. We recognize that this is a difficult time. If you would like one, I'd be glad to sit with you. I'm sure there are several of the service leaders who would be willing to do the same. So don't feel like, well, spiritually I'm sort of in the down low. There are people here who are willing to help you. Okay. We move now in compassion for those, well, first of all, I'm sorry, are there any other announcements? Because I thought there was at least 3. Oh, okay, that person decided not to. Okay. We move now in compassion for those in need who are hungry, ill, and without shelter. Our congregation's service to the larger Roseburg community is to collect your contributions of food or money. This support of the Fish Pantry is a combined effort of several Roseburg churches. Our church offertory is later in the service. Thank you. Your gifts will help others. I'd also like to take a moment to live streaming audience watching from the front. Our chalice lighting words this morning are from Marjorie Montgomery. We light this chalice to remind us life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. Thank you. Our opening words this morning are from Kalidasa. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and the realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Our first hymn is This Little Light of Mine. Please rise and join us.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Now is the time in our service when we remember our joys and concerns with silent or spoken candle lighting regarding the significant milestones in our lives. I invite those who wish to light a candle, silent or spoken, Please form a line to my right. And for those with spoken candle, give your name and please be brief. The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. We are supported by the voluntary generosity of all who are part of this congregation. Your offering will be received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values. For the gifts we have received, may we be truly grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world and to expand our beloved community. Join me in singing "From You I Receive" and remain standing for our next hymn.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Our next hymn is "Kumbaya."
Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya.
Our speaker today is Donna Smith. She is a Unity Worldwide Ministry spiritual leader whose training focused on pastoral care. She is most happy when she can help others find peace and joy in their lives. She is also a Unity chaplain, a Taizé prayer leader and trainer, a Reiki master and practitioner, a nonviolent communication teacher, a student and teacher of a course in miracle, a teacher of the way of mystery, and is active in our cares and concerns ministry. Today, she's talking about leading you or leading with your light through the chaos, and her meditation is a good day. Please welcome Donna Smith.
Well, I still haven't grown that 3 inches. Good morning, everyone. I hope I didn't make you nervous being late. I apologize for that. I know Larry was nervous. And you'll never guess what happened. I walked out the door and my shoes fell apart. And I am not exaggerating. Literally just broke open and fell apart. It was like I was in my shoes one moment, the next moment I was not. That's so crazy. So, good to see you all again. Leading with your light through the chaos is what I want to talk to you about today. Sun Tzu said, "In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity." How do we find opportunities in situations that can easily bring out anger, frustration, depression, and hopelessness? What thoughts are we carrying that propel us into these negative levels of energy? And how can we be in control of our thoughts and use them to see clearly what opportunities are available in these situations and use them to enhance our lives? There is a law of physics that state that there must be chaos when you're moving from one state into another. And the old state must break up as it moves into that new state. It must. And so we're right in the middle of that, and we know that. We feel it, don't we, every day, that we're right in the middle of that chaos as we are moving forward. But this is the lesson. We are moving forward. Even though it seems like we're going backwards sometimes, even though it seems like there's a lot of pain moving forward, we still are moving forward. Because the paradigm A just doesn't work for humanity anymore. We're just not there anymore. And it is causing all of this suffering and struggling in our world. So we must move towards that paradigm B, which is of a much higher consciousness, as we know, because consciousness must move forward. Doesn't seem like it, I know, but some get a little stuck there, but we really truly are, as a humanity as a whole, moving forward, even though it's really slow right now. The lower level of consciousness right now is really fighting back. It does not want to die. It wants to stay alive. And it wants to win over. But it cannot win, and it is not winning. And it is just crying out for that survival, to make it, to make it the dominant part of your lives, which it has been for centuries. However, the universal law of evolution is much stronger. And humanity must raise its consciousness to continue to survive, grow, and move into more empowering places where we which we call actually right now, we're calling the fifth dimension. I think you've probably heard of that. Yes, the fifth dimension. That's really where we're going. And I want you to also please remember that the light is not here to destroy darkness. The light is here to help the darkness move into the light. And that's a big difference. It's a big difference in how we see the world and the choices that we make in the world. We're not fighting against anything. We are just doing the things that we want to move into those more life-enhancing levels of consciousness. Well, it seems like it's been a really, really long time, hasn't it? It seems like, wow, when is this ever going to end? And, there's just so many unknowns out there right now. With this new election and everything, all those unknowns came with it, and what's really going to happen. And it just goes on and on. So, it's normal to see that fear build up within us. But what happens when we come from that level of fear is we can't see things with clarity. And so when you're looking out there and you're not seeing things clearly, how can we make our optimum choices to move through these situations? A Course in Miracles says that we think upside down. And I know I've shared some of these things with you before, but they're really worth repeating. What that means is we think from a base of fear instead of a base of love. And we've been doing it forever and ever. But it also says, Course in Miracles also says, that we need to forget everything we've ever learned. And I go, whoa. I mean, we've spent, lifetimes learning what we supposedly know, right? Well, it just reminds me of Krishnamurti. He said, to know is ignorance. Not to know is the beginning of wisdom. Yeah, because we think we know, but in most cases, coming from that base of fear, what are we doing? We're looking out there and not seeing things clearly. And so we make these judgments, our opinions, and our beliefs on these things that we're not even seeing clearly. And that's what's been happening. And that's why, life can seem so fearful at times. Well, we know that another name for fear is ego. And we have succumbed to the ego and have lived in the lower consciousness levels for a long time. However, as human beings, if everything is going along smoothly, what have we learned? As human beings, we need to have some experiences that shake us up a little bit in order for us to understand things more clearly and to grow and to figure out, what do we want? I just started to say I'm not making a judgment against the ego here, but maybe I am. I have to think about that. Anyway, the ego is an aspect of everyone on this planet who chose to reincarnate, because with that came our egos. And everything that we do is either based on that decision of coming from our egoic base, our fear base, or our love base, as I said. But all of these opportunities, all these experiences have brought opportunities for us and gave us that option, our choice. And we always have choices. We can choose anything we want. We just don't have a choice of the consequences that come with those. You make a choice, consequences come with that. So now it's time to move into a higher level of consciousness and to, experience more of the love side of our options that we have here. And I know that it's hard to stay in that consciousness of love every day when you're confronted with so many different things. But we need to keep our focus on what do we really want. We want love, don't we? We want caring for each other, and we want happiness and all of these things. So how do we do this? Well, we make a U-turn from our heads to our hearts. In other words, from fear to love, same thing. And it's really just a choice that we make. So ask yourself, in any situation, am I going to look at this from the eyes of love or fear? And that's your power, that's your choice that you can make. But most often, we are allowing our egos just to drag us along and respond from fear through everything. And but now we have to stop that. We really just have to learn to stop that and not give, our ego that power. Now, this is not about letting go of our ego, leaving the planet, floating above, the earth and doing all those kind of things. That's not what it's about. You can be 100% evolved in a human body. And there are people on this earth right now who are of that high level and who are generating the energy out there that keeps us from self-destruction because of the lower energies. So that's how powerful love is and why it's a wonderful choice to make. Now, the lower energies that are being expressed today cannot live within the higher energies for very long. And so that's why I really, wish that you would look at your energy level and where you are. You have to be with that energy level and know where you are in order to make those changes or choices that you want to make. Because there's going to come a time where those lower energies can't even survive. They have to leave the planet because, the gap there is too great. So they either raise their consciousness or they must leave the planet. And I'm not talking about being destroyed because life goes on forever. It's just leaving this body. So now ascension is exactly what I've been talking about, is raising our consciousness levels. So we know that when we get to that level of consciousness that is love, oh boy, do we feel good, don't we? We feel that happiness. We feel that love for each other. And we begin to care for others even more than we care for ourselves. And we love serving. We get into that mode, which is so rewarding. And I have a quote here from Rabindranath Tagore. He says, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy." I love that quote by him. So the chaos is necessary to clean up our act. And we're all part of that act, by the way. And that's not a judgment. That's just the processes that we go through to learn. Barbara Marx Hubbard has shown that in her research, the consciousness of humanity has risen in the past only after a period of chaos. The law of physics at work. Chaos forces us to see that what we're doing, that is not life-enhancing, and it helps us to hopefully choose for a higher level of consciousness. And Cryon says the chaos is asking us to turn the lights on in the rooms of humanity, I call them, and see all the accumulated dirt and dust that needs to be cleaned out. Just like Laleen and JC are seeing right now. So we are cleaning the house right now, and it is rather messy because we've ignored that cleaning for some time. And so, right now, the chaos includes pandemic, upheavals in our weather, violent natural occurrences, more homelessness, as Larry was saying, upheavals in our societal and political systems, and wars. And they're still all here right now. But I want you to maybe look at it as we've shaken them up, they're coming up, and now we can clean them up. So don't look at them as, oh my gosh, we're going downhill again, we're going backwards. We're really not. Here's what it is, clean it up. It's what it's saying. And so when these things come up, it's our opportunity to clean them up and to choose differently, and to choose from that basis of what is good for all of us, not just me. What is good for all of us? I ran across a quote recently from Bertrand Russell. He said, "War does not determine who is right. It just determines who's left." You know. We did not come to this planet to struggle or suffer. That was not the plan. Our egos have done a very good job at helping us struggle and suffer, but we must understand the struggle part is not necessary to learn and grow. In our process of learning and growing, we will experience some pain and discomfort, and that's natural. The key is to move through the pain and discomfort and let it go. Struggling and suffering mean that you're holding on to something that needs to be released. Now, struggling is based on fighting against the what is, or what was, or what may be in the future. Okay? What is and what was is. I mean, we can't change that. Okay? But in our wisdom, these are things to acknowledge, accept, and then move beyond. So your power lies in taking what is and finding ways to transform it into life-enhancing influences, not to fight the what is. And how about the future? Well, our what-if lists, which are based in fear, are quite long, aren't they? They're very long. What if this happens? And so we need to work on those what-if lists and deal with them in order to move into the future without struggling and suffering. Now, struggle is necessary to stay in the egoic state of consciousness. And that is why when you look out at the world around you today, you see much struggling. Because the reason we struggle to maintain the egoic state is because it allows us to live our lives as if we are in control and separate from the world. Yeah, you've heard me say this many times. We are not in control. No, there is only one thing that we have any control over, and that's our thoughts, and not what's going on out there. But we want to control everything out there, and it will never happen. So we need to let go of that, because that's a biggie that causes us to struggle and suffer. And besides, it kind of keeps us in the illusion, doesn't it? The ego wants us to stay in the illusion because then it's still alive. So we struggle at many levels: our inner, our self, our work, our politics, our families, and our friendships. We all yearn for a sense of wholeness and freedom, and yet we attempt to get there through trying to change ourselves, struggling to alter who we are and what we are, but it's based on what the outside world wants us to be, not what we want to be. So how can we move through the necessary chaos in wisdom instead of struggle? We lead with our light. We lead with our light. So try this. I love visualizations. So envision you are a miner, and you are wearing the latest style of your helmet with the big light that shines out there, okay? And that light vanishes the darkness and brings light and clarity to whatever is in that mine, in your world. And this is your inner light. And it is your way to move through the chaos with more clarity, wisdom, and confidence. And this is your inner light that shines on your fears and gives you the strength to face them and release them. Because when you face them, guess what? They're not as big as you thought they were. And that's true. So this is the bright light that shines from your heart. By the way, hi, Charles. I was supposed to say hi, Charles. Sorry, I forgot. So how do we do that? Okay, we make that U-turn, as I was suggesting, from your head to your heart. But I want you to notice the place within you that is not struggling. Go within and notice that place where you're not struggling, that quiet moment. Whatever it is. This is your wisdom center. You're not struggling there. You're not suffering. And this is where you are the witness. The witness can be also known as your higher self, your soul. Looking at it in a way that will give you your highest and best solutions. Very simply, very quietly, without any struggle. And it is about being in that present moment and not thinking about the past and the future. You're only alive right now. And there is only what is right now in this moment. But here's what gets in the way. We assume that what we're seeking isn't already present. Of course, that's why we would be seeking it, right? We would think it's not here. We believe that the peace and the happiness and the freedom aren't here. Right where we are. It's just not here. That's why we're seeking. But all of these things are present, and they're present within you right now. It is only a matter of you choosing them. Happiness is a decision that you make. It is not based on anything else but your decision to be happy. It doesn't matter what's happening outside you. But we get caught up in that seeking for something we already have. Sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? Yeah. But we assume that we are seeking something that's going to complete us somehow and make everything right for us. And that's why we really get confused, because it's not out there. We never find it. It doesn't matter. We can look for it in our relationships and in our partners, anything, and you're not going to find it. Your happiness is a decision you make. This is what I really want you to hear. Know that you are what you are seeking. And become a finder instead of a seeker. Go to that quiet place and find you, okay? That's all it takes. It's really all it takes. And when you learn how to do that, your whole life will change. When you learn to do that, you will look out there and all the people in your lives, everything that's in your life, will have a purpose. It will mean something to them, not you. Because you are what it's all about. And that's not being selfish at all. That is learning where to find your wisdom. And I would suggest that you let go of any expectations of others. They're not here to meet your expectations of them. And so I want to encourage you to lead with your light. Go to that wisdom center. That doesn't mean that you're not going to run into the fears. I will briefly share with you, when I first got my diagnosis, I fell into deep fear. And it took me quite a while to put the brakes on and start what they call practice what you preach. It did. It took me a while. And I still fall into those moments of fear, but now, I know where my power is, and I can come out of it quite quickly. So don't be afraid that you're in fear. Does that make sense? Yeah, don't be afraid that you're falling into fear, but just know you have the power to bring yourself back into your wisdom center. And that's what that's all about. The Dalai Lama said, people were created to be loved. Things were created to be used. The reason the world is in chaos is because things are being loved and people are being used. Pretty wise, huh? Well, life is not, I sure will. People, okay, both of them? Which one did I, okay. Well, I'll give you the Dalai Lama. People were created to be loved. Things were created to be used. The reason the world is in chaos is because things are being loved and people are being used. Very powerful. You can see me later, JC, if for more, or I'll just give you this. Life is not based on competition, it is based on cooperation. Evolution is not a random process. Life is intelligent, and order is one of the basic principles of life. We will get to Paradigm B because we are evolving. So I invite you to hop on that Paradigm B Express going to the 5th Dimension station. I think you will find it a very enjoyable trip, and remember to wear your miner's helmet. So I have a meditation now. I think, Jake, we're going to play. Yeah. This meditation is from Brother David Stendal-Rast. It's called A Good Day. I wanted you to hear this because it's a good way to start the day. And turn that light on when you get up in the morning. And I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and then we can have discussion after this, okay?
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now, and the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather, and even of the weather we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, has unique weather. Maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that is right now. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has a incredible story behind their face. A story that you could never fully fathom. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. We all go back so far. And in this present moment, on this day, all the people you meet, all that life from generations and from so many places all over the world flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. You turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. So these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts to which we can open your heart. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you. That everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you. Just by your eyes, by your smile, by your touch, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
Wasn't that beautiful? Yeah, I just had to share that with you.
Are there any comments or questions on what you've heard today?
And remember, no tomatoes allowed.
Just thank you, Donna.
You're welcome. Yes.
As you were telling us how to choose the good day, I thought to myself, I'll handle the week, but everybody should come here on Sunday and help each other do that.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I did want to say one, oh, go ahead, sir, yeah.
Your message is clear and wonderful. And
Thank you.
it reminds me of the title of a book from years ago, that love is letting go of fear.
Yeah, who was that? That was, Pascali, maybe? Pardon? Google it.
I'm reminded of the saying, today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Present. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's great, thank you. Yes. I wanted to add something. You know, you hear me talk about everything's within us. And yet, when there are people outside of us, books that we read, whatever, situations, events that happen and everything that touch our heart. You think, well, that came from the outside. But all of that, those things are catalysts for us to realize and recognize within us our truth. So it's still within us, but we have all these, beautiful people here that we associate with that help us remember those things. And so it's not that they are giving this great truth, it's that we're recognizing it for us. And that's why it's so important for us to be together and help each other that way. Yeah.
So, with all of the chaos going on and these things that are bringing fear to myself, a big issue that I'm having with the overwhelmment is finding what to serve, how to serve, like in order to get myself out of, the alligator Alcatraz,
Yeah.
Can you give some direction on that, please?
Well, do you know what your passion is? Do you know what you want?
Yeah, plants, people, making.
Well, go for those plants, baby. We love them too. No, but really, you need to know what you want. That's very critical for you to move in any direction, really. We tend, they say that we have 70 plus negative thoughts every day. over 75% of our thoughts are negative. Well, one of the things I've shared before is start really looking at your thoughts, looking at how you talk, how you say things, and get some insight right there, because that's going to tell you, am I looking at this in a negative way or a positive way? And then that's you're the one that has to do it. You're the one that has to make those changes. But face those fears first, because they're not going to be as big as you think they are. I guarantee you that. None of them ever are. But I think you really need to get a handle on what you want. When you do that, then more clarity about what you can do to achieve that. If it's in the worlds of plants, you might, build beautiful gardens for people to come to see. You see? You're serving people by building this beauty that they can come and share. So, yeah, just start with you. What do I want? And really pay attention to your thoughts and your words. And, of course, your actions. Because they're really going to tell you what's really going on in there. That would be the first thing I would do. You got to get to know yourself. Yeah.
We have two more, and then we'll end the questioning.
Oh, yeah. My dad's getting hungry, as he said. So, yeah, if we're getting close to the end, I just wanted to say, Cherie, I know what it's like to be kind of like searching for a purpose and stuff, and I do want to connect with you after this with the gardening and stuff. My father and I, we planted trees, 2 apple trees and a cherry tree in our yard, and they're bearing fruit. And I'm so happy with it, and seeing that life, it was a moment in my life that I was like, whoa, it's magic. I know it's science. I know how it works. I've done biology and chemistry, right? We've been through school. But the point is, it's amazing. It is all magical. And that, I'm so happy that you're sharing that, and I will support you with that, and I'm ready to get my hands in the dirt too, is what I'm saying. So, right on and pursue that.
Yep. That's how it happens, right there. Thank you. Thank you, Brett.
A last comment?
I was just thinking about what I've done with my 83 years, and I realized that the decisions that I make or the choices I make are really based on the values and the ethics that have been important to me and that satisfy me. And when I came here and I read the 7 principles, I just felt, you know, an incredible depth of, yeah, those sentences say it. I just never identified it.
Yeah.
So when I get up, you know, and I think about what I'm going to do, or, you know, whether it's go hold a sign or write a letter or have a date with JC, doesn't matter, but the important part is that there's a consistency inside of me with what's going on. And that good old miner's light.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for your comments. Let's all rise and sing our final hymn, For All That Is Our Life.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build a common ground and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work that is reward, for hours of thirst and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrows we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours of past, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build a common ground and make our own days glad.
Please be seated. Our closing words today are by an unknown author. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness, bad days give experience, worst days give lessons, and the best days give memories. Our chalice extinguishing words today are by Elizabeth Sully Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And as we end our service today, we're reminded that we have come this way in love and the consciousness of love, recognizing that a loving spirit is all that there is. There's no other power, no other presence, no other all-knowing intelligence. It's just this spirit of life. And it's in this spirit that we live, move, and have our being. Oh, may each of you be a shining light for loving kindness to all you may meet today and the rest of the week. Please rise as you're willing and able and join us in a circle of oneness as we sing our final hymn, Go Lift It Up.